All right. Today, if you can't tell, our theme is kind of in believing. Believe in yourself. Be the energy you want to attract. You believe that the people you're going to be put next to are there for a reason, and you're the reason. You have the success. You have the answers. Life gives us all rules of how to live, and those rules are often made by people who want to gain from us, not build us up. Well, Renatus has evened the playing field. That is showing us how to succeed in life, how to win at the game. And there's nobody better than Christian Sadler to show us what we need to be doing. Here is a guy that his life is an example. He is an example. He has positive energy coming from him all the time. And to share that with us today, Christian Sadler, how are you, sir?
I'm amazing, Ron. How about yourself?
Amazing.
Good deal. Hey, I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you starting things off, and just love how you make this beginning of the day unique and engaging. So, thank you for everything that you do. And folks, let's jump into things. So, for me, I wanted to go over something that maybe some of you have seen already, but they do say repetition is the mother of all learning. And so we had where the last time I did this training, the recording unfortunately just didn't work properly. And so now that I can see that the recording says that it's happening, we're going to try it one more time, and we're going to go through a script. And I'm going to show you guys how to make a copy and edit it, because I think it's important for you to edit it, make it your own, and get very effective in using it. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so you guys have probably seen this script, the Renata straight line script. It is in the Facebook page. So if you're on the Renatus Elevate SLC or Renatus Team Elevate SLC Facebook page, then I've already put it up there. You can simply go on and make a copy of it. So there's a link to it in there. And let me show you what I mean by that. So when you open it up, you're not going to have editing access. Now, I do because it's in my account, but I'm going to show you guys. You're going to go to File, okay? And then you're going to go to Make a Copy. It's as simple as that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to want to go to right here where it says Copy Of. You're going to put your name. You're going to say Christian's Renatus Straight Line Script, okay? So that is where you're going to rename it, and then you can put it in one of your folders if you'd like, right? Somewhere into your drive. I'm just going to leave it right there because I'm actually not going to leave this copy of it. But anyways, so you're going to make a copy. You're going to push OK. At that point, you don't need this Renata straight line script open anymore. You can move over to the one that is your own. And then you're going to simply come in here and edit. So come in here where it says your name and just put your name, right? It's very simple. And I'm going to quickly go through this part of it so that we can get into the dynamic of the script here. So their name is going to stay the same because you're just going to leave that because it's going to change with each lead. But each place where it says your name, you're going to come in here and you're just going to put it in there. Put your own name in here. Come through here, scroll down, and we're going to look at a couple of things that we're going to make some changes of. So right here, if you're building for one specific event, then it's not a bad idea to change this right here and just put, Thursday evening or whenever that event is that you are building for. Now, if you've got lots of events that you're building for throughout the week, then you can leave it as it is because you're just going to change it in your own mind, right? Now, the key here is when it says the day of the event, of course, you're just going to go with Thursday. We'll be getting together. The location of the event, I don't give the actual location until they've given me a firm commitment. So instead of saying, at the Larry Miller Community College, I'm going to say in Sandy at 6:45. Okay, so and And then scrolling down here, the next change you're going to make. So right here, this change right here. So you're actually going to take this and you're going to shrink it down. We're going to change that to a 9. I'm going to take off the bolding. And the reason is because you want to put in here the one that you're actually going to use. So you want to make bold the part of the conversation that you're actually going to use. And so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to take this example. I'm going to bring it up in size to 13 because that's what the rest of it is. And then I'm going to hit enter. That's going to make it big. And then I'm going to click bold. That's going to make it bold. Now the thing is if you can tell a story here that is one of your own students, then even better. So then I'm going to change this us to me. Oops. Me. And that's as simple as that. All right, now we have the script. So let's talk about the dynamics of it. Let me make this bigger in case you guys aren't seeing it very well. Now, we're going to change this right here as well. All right, what's happening? I'm trying to click on this part where it says your name for some reason. All right, here we go. So same thing, you're going to put your name here where it says your name. So the reason I put this here is sometimes people were asking, well, do you leave a message? And my answer is I always leave a message because if I've called and I've gotten to that point, I just figure I might as well leave a message. And so it's really simple what the message is going to be. That's it right there. All right. Now, if they do answer, though, so we're going to go through this, and I'm just going to kind of go through it as if somebody's speaking on the other end, but I'm not going to say their answers. And then what we can do is we can role play it real quick. So I want to walk through the dynamics of this, and I want you to kind of think about the tonality. And the best way for you to understand the tonality is to go through the training that I've recommended to you guys multiple times, which is The Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort, and also Straight Line Persuasion by Jordan Belfort. Now, Straight Line Persuasion, you can find a link to that inside the group as well. And The Way of the Wolf is inside the Audible. So go find those, go utilize them. They are very, very effective. All right. So I'm gonna go through this again, and then we'll go from there. So, hi, Joe. Now realize that I go up. Hi, Joe. So it would also be, hi, Sally. Right? Do you see how you go up at the end? So you're reinforcing that. Yes, of course it's them, right? Like you're saying, I know it's you, and you're going to answer. Now, there's a big difference between that and saying, hi, is this Joe? Do you guys see the difference there? So you're going to say, hi, Joe, right? All right, so hi, Joe, and they're going to say yes. Joe, this is Christian Sadler, real estate investor. You had answered an ad of mine about investing in real estate. Do you remember doing that? Awesome. Did I catch you at a good time? Perfect. So what is it about the ad that piqued your attention? Well, that makes sense. What do you currently do for work? So are you looking at real estate investing as a way to supplement what you're doing now, or would you go full-time once you replaced or doubled your income? Have you ever done real estate in the past? Have you ever run your own business or been in charge of your own schedule? Do you feel like you have the discipline to control your own schedule? So with your current work schedule, what kind of time do you realistically have to dedicate towards real estate? Joe, it sounds like there may be a good fit here. The best way to know for sure is to meet in person and find out. The next opportunity we can make that happen is this Thursday. We'll be getting together over in Sandy around 6:45 in the evening. Is there anything you're doing this Thursday that you can't get out of? Okay, great. It's by invitation only. So I'll need to make sure that I have the right info for you to reserve your spot. The email I have for you is joe@joeblow.com. Is that the best one to reach you on? Okay, and how do I spell your first name? Is it J-O or J-O-E? And your last name? Perfect. Okay. Do me a favor. Text me when you get there. I want to make sure that you meet Alden. Alden started with me when he was 19 years old, and he's done some really incredible things. He's 22 now and doing multiple real estate transactions. The one that he has under contract to sell in Cedar Hills, he's actually looking at over $70,000 in profit on. So he does a ton for this community, and he's definitely somebody that you're going to want to know. Sound good? Perfect. I'll be sure to reserve you a spot. Before I let you go, though, can I ask you one more question? Joe, are you the type of person that follows through on the things they say they're going to do? So if I reserve you a spot and have the team watching out for you, you're going to be there, right? Perfect. See you then. So hopefully you guys were kind of imagining that conversation happening as we were going through it. And I want you to think about the dynamics of this call again. I always clarify my time. Awesome. Did I catch you at a good time? I want to make sure that I've got somebody ready to engage in a conversation. And then I want to know right here why they called off the ad in the first place. I mean, that's an important piece of information. And hopefully, as you guys are going through your calls, you're taking notes. They're gonna talk about what piqued their attention, but I also want to know what they're doing right now to bring in money. That's gonna help play in a little bit more into, and oftentimes they'll kind of lead into this question with their answer from this question here, right? So then I want to start. This is where I'm starting to create possibility in their own mind, right? And this, yes, is absolutely a persuasion tactic, we'll call it, right? To help them envision their own success. So I say, are you looking at real estate investing as a way to supplement what you're doing now, or would you go full time once you replaced or doubled your income? I want them to imagine themselves already replacing or double their income through real estate. And some of them are just looking at supplementing, right? But many of them will talk about going full time. All right, have you ever done real estate in the past? Now, here's the key. If in the previous conversation, you guys need to listen to what people say, because if back here where you say, what do you currently do for work? And they say, oh, I've been flipping properties, or, oh, I've been in real estate already, then you don't want to go into and say, have you ever done real estate in the past? Instead, you can change that question to, tell me about what type of real estate you've done so far, right? Okay, and then same thing. Have you ever run your own business or been in charge of your own schedule? That's a key question, because a lot of people that are calling you have never been in that type of a position. But some of them are going to tell you, absolutely, in the previous, they're going to talk about, well, I run a business, I'm a, full-time photographer or whatever it is. So then you're going to say, you might move to the fact, you might skip this question and say, I guess I don't have to ask you whether you feel like you have the discipline to run your own schedule, then do I, based on your previous comment. And you're still asking them a question, but you're saying it in a way where you're validating that you already heard them say that they were a business owner, right? So with your current schedule, what kind of time do you realistically have to dedicate towards real estate? Reason I put in some of these qualifying questions, folks, is I want to get a clear understanding of and overcome the excuses that might come up in the future, right? So with your current schedule, what kind of time do you realistically have to dedicate towards real estate? I want them to get them to think about it. If they just throw out an answer, then I'm going to probe here and try and get some more, understanding of what type of hours they could realistically put in. So I'm going to say, well, what days and times do you think you'll fit those hours in, right? And what that does is later on in the conversation, when you're ready to ask closing questions, like after they've been to a presentation and whatnot. If you've already asked this question and they say, I just realized that I probably don't have the time to do this, then you can call them on it. You can say, listen, Joe, in our very first conversation, you talked about being able to fit these hours in, and you said you'd probably fit them in on these days. So was you lying to me then, or is it, are you lying to me now? What's really going on here, right? You can kind of call them on it. So, and then once you've kind of got an idea, then you can say, Joe, and people love to hear their own name, by the way. So if you can fit their name into this conversation multiple times, it's going to help. So, Joe, it sounds like, again, you're not saying you're going to be a great fit for this team. Oh my gosh, we've been waiting for you, right? Instead, you want them qualifying still for your time. You want to hold back, that opportunity enough for them to continue to want to get more. So you're going to say, Joe, it sounds like there may be a good fit here. The best way to know for sure is to meet in person and find out. The next opportunity we can make that happen is, and then you're going to start prepping them for the event, right? So is there anything you're doing this Thursday that you can't get out of? And this psychology works really well because if there's anything that they absolutely can't get out of, they're going to let you know. And if not, then they're already imagining themselves getting out of it, right? Okay, great. It's by invitation only, so I'll need to make sure that I have the right info for you to reserve your spot. This part is key. You always want to make sure you have the right information, because as soon as you book somebody, you're putting them into CAMS, right? So if you've already got all the spelling and stuff, they've sent you a resume or whatever, you may not need this question. But if you're not completely sure, then you might as well get it right now, okay? And then this part is key. Do me a favor. Text me when you get there. I want to make sure you meet, and then you can use anybody. So if you see here, if you just read here, this is actually saying, how to build this story for anybody that you want to build the story for. Sounds good. Do me a favor, text me when you get there. I want to introduce you to, and then think of who you would want to edify that's going to be at that event. And then utilize their story and, talk about how it's definitely somebody they're going to want to know. So for me, I love using Alden's story, but I will oftentimes cater this to the person. So when you get really good at this script, folks, you're not necessarily going to follow it line by line. You're actually going to be able to free flow it and use a story based on the person that you're talking to, right? So if I'm talking to somebody who is, a millennial, who's young and eager, then I'm oftentimes going to share Alden's story, right? But if I'm talking to somebody who's been a contractor for a lot of years, I might use John O'Neill's story or Landon Stokoe's story, right? And so I'm going to cater these stories to the person that I'm talking to. So perfect. I'll reserve you a spot. Before I let you go, though, can I ask you one more question? And guys, this is where you move from somebody saying that that they can be somewhere to actually committing. And this is when you go through and say, Joe, are you the type of person that follows through on the things they say they're going to do? This is where, before they're just, having a conversation. Now they're answering a question that means something about their character, right? Do you guys understand that psychology? And then you're reinforcing and saying, so if I reserve you a spot and have the team watching out for you, you're going to be there, right? So you're solidifying and, you're helping them to make a commitment at this point. And this way, if something comes up, if something's there that it's pending, that they're like, oh, crap, I actually, have a soccer or whatever else, then they're going to throw that out there. They're probably, sometimes they won't just, say it, right out. They'll say something like, well, as long as I don't yada, yada, yada. And then you can call them on it. Like you can backtrack and you can say, what do you need to check on? Like, oh, well, before I register you, Do you need to check with your wife? Do you need to check on your kid's soccer schedule? Like let's figure out if there's a commitment here or not. And then it's, perfect. See you then. And of course, you're going to send them the info and get them all registered. So really quickly, I would love for somebody to come off mute and we can role play this real quick.
I'll role play with you as Basilio.
Say it one more time.
Oh, I said I'll role play with you as Basilio. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Basilio?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So do you want to be the caller or do you want to be the prospect?
Caller.
Okay. So you're going to call me.
Oh, sorry, no. Prospect. Let me be the prospect so everyone can see.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So just to let you guys know again, I do not have prospecting calls come to my cell phone. So what I do is I have them go to a Google Voice number that's set to Do Not Disturb so that I can be in the right energy at the right time, and I can do my prospecting calls on my time. I like to run my business, not have my business run me. Okay, so I'm going to be calling you back. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, Basilio?
Yeah, this is he speaking.
Basilio, this is Christian Sadler, real estate investor. You had answered an ad of mine about investing in real estate. You remember doing that?
Yeah, I think I do. Maybe a couple days ago.
Absolutely, yeah. Did I catch you at a good time?
Yeah, now it's all right.
Okay, perfect. So what is it about the ad that piqued your attention, Basilio?
It said fire your boss. I don't like my boss and I got into a argument, tried to take credit for some of my work, and tired of that happening. So I just said, hey, it was just the right place, right time. I looked up at the stop sign and boom.
That makes sense. So what is it that you currently do for work?
I'm a financial analyst.
Okay, gotcha. So, I mean, it sounds like based on what you're saying, you're looking to replace, what you're currently doing. But I just want to ask, like right up front, are you thinking it as real estate as something to supplement what you're doing? Or would you go full time as soon as you replaced or doubled your income?
Shoot, I never really thought about replacing my income. I was just thinking, I would make some money and, just make some money. I never really thought that deeply about it, but now that you say that, yeah, I definitely would do it full time.
Okay, gotcha. Have you ever done real estate in the past?
I tried working with someone, but when I invested, and then when I drove to the property after some time, I saw that nothing was really going on. So I was kind of curious what they were doing with my money. So I just pulled out. I haven't tried again since.
Oh, gotcha. So you did get out of it without losing any money, though?
Yeah, fortunately, the guy gave me my money back. I didn't make any money, due to the holding time on my cash. God knows what he was really doing with it, but I didn't lose money, so it's a win.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Have you ever run your own business or been in charge of your own schedule?
I have in the past.
Tell me about that.
I consulted for many years in the financial space. So, come again? You're gonna say something?
No. I was just listening.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I consulted for many years in the financial space. I used to have a music publishing company, so I managed a bunch of songwriters and producers. So I've done a lot of entrepreneurial ventures. Used to throw parties at clubs. So I had an events company. So I've run my own schedule for a while.
Okay.
Experience with it.
So you feel like you're pretty disciplined in running your own schedule then?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So Basilio, with your current schedule, what kind of time do you realistically have to dedicate towards real estate?
To realistically dedicate, I mean, it depends what I'd have to do. Could you tell me?
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that if we get the opportunity to meet. But I'm talking, you're looking at, I would, hope that it would be at least 10 to 20 hours per week. Is that something you could realistically do?
If I can do it on my time, yeah. Is this
Okay.
some kind of program, or how much does it cost if it is?
Yeah, don't worry. We're going to get into all of that stuff. So as far as when you say your time, tell me about that. Like what kind of time would you be fitting those hours in?
I mean, I'm an early riser, so if I can do things before I have to get ready for the day to go into the office, and then, late evenings before I go to sleep, that'd be great for me. And then to manage some things during the day, maybe some calls, looking at contracts, talking to lawyers, etc. But so that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. So luckily you probably understand real estate is, very flexible. So you can do a lot of early mornings and late nights. But if we got to close on a property, for example, usually the title company is only open during the day. Do you have the flexibility with your current job that you could dedicate the right amount of time if you need to go to a closing?
If I need to go to a closing, yeah, I could always figure that in.
Okay.
You always have to be available to get the check.
Yeah, absolutely. Vasilio, it sounds like there may be a good fit here. The best way to know for sure is to meet in person and find out. And the next opportunity we can make that happen is this Thursday. We're going to be getting together over in Sandy at about 6:45 in the evening. Is there anything you're doing this Thursday that you can't get out of?
Um, my son has a baseball game this Thursday, but it's not the playoffs, so my girlfriend could definitely be there. But what would we be doing? Because you said we a lot, but I've only been talking to you. You haven't told me anything about yourself.
Yeah, so I've got a whole team of real estate investors, and that's kind of the key. Is I want you to come down and meet us, see what we're all about, and understand what it would look like if you decided to work side by side with us.
Okay, how do people work with you? Is this something where a program like Fortune Builders where I have to just you give me some info and I pay and you send me off with a PowerPoint, or are you just looking for my money, or are you going to actually teach me things and then I have to pay for that?
So yeah, of course, there's a cost to anything, right? You're talking about a business here, but I'm talking about the opportunity to work side by side with local real estate investors. So this is the same way
Okay.
that I set myself free from working for somebody else, and that's why I'm inviting you down to meet the team so you can have a better understanding. Does that make sense?
Okay, I mean, that definitely does make sense. Let me ask you though, how well are you doing in your business? I like working with superstars.
Sure. I mean, we can get into all of that. The good news is, Basilio, it doesn't matter. Because I'm going to introduce you to tons of people that are just killing it in real estate. And you can decide who is the best person to work with. Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, it does matter, but being able to pick the right person definitely matters as long as our personalities gel, the vibe is right. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, yeah. And that's the whole reason we
Okay.
should meet in person, isn't it?
Truth. Yeah, that is true. The reason we should meet in person.
Okay. I mean, because I've got a bunch more people that have answered my ad that I need to get to, and I just need to find out. Do you want to come down and meet or not?
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to see what's going on. You haven't
Okay.
really told me much, but
Yeah, and obviously, me trying to explain what I do over the phone is like me trying to give you a haircut over the phone. It's not going to work. You know what I mean? And
that's a
I've
good
got a
one.
process here for you to figure out and understand the information. And right now, I'm giving you an invitation to see it in detail.
Okay.
So does Thursday work for sure?
Yeah, works.
Oh, Vasilio, I lost you there.
Where? No, I'm here. Where is it by chance?
It's going to be in Sandy over at the Salt Lake Community College campus. Are you familiar?
Ooh. Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm familiar. It's a little out there, but
Okay.
I can get there.
So it is by invitation only. I need to make sure I have the right info for you. The email I have for you is yada, yada, yada at yada.com. Is that the best one to reach you on?
Yeah, that's the one that comes to my phone, so we're good there.
Okay. And Vasilia, spell your name for me.
Basileo.
Okay. And your last name?
Odukoya.
Okay. Perfect. So do me a favor. When you get there, text me. I want to make sure you
Okay.
meet Alden. He
Okay.
started with me when he was 19 years old. He's done some really incredible things since then. He's 22 now. He's doing multiple transactions. The one he has under contract to sell over in Cedar Hills, actually, he's looking at a $70,000 profit on. So he does a ton for this.
Okay.
he's definitely someone you're going to want to know. Sound good?
Oh, very cool. Yeah, sounds good. I mean, if he's looking at 70K on one deal all by himself.
No, he's got a team with him, so I think it's him and one
Okay.
other.
Okay, I mean, they're looking at 70K. I mean, that's some people don't even make that in a year.
Exactly. So I'll reserve you a spot. Before I let you go, though, Vasilio, can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
Are you the type of person that follows through on the things he says he's going to do?
Can I take a page from your book?
Tell me what you mean by that.
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna be there.
Okay. So if I reserve you a spot and I have the team watching out for you, you're going to be there, right?
Definitely gonna be there.
Perfect. See you then.
I see you then.
All right, guys. So you guys kind of get the idea of that. The key is you don't have to go in and answer a lot of these questions. And Vasilio was trying to kind of, throw a lot out there. And quite frankly, I think this was a good training for you. And we can role play more on a future call. But Vasilio, I appreciate you participating here. I got to run, guys. I appreciate you being on here. The recording of this will be up shortly. And the good news is this script is already in the Renata's Team Elevate SLC Facebook page. So go download it, make it your own, and run with it.
Hey, Christian, quick question.
Yeah.
Wanted to know, so I realized that you kind of already had his email address when he answered your ad. What is it that you're saying when you put your Google Voice on Do Not Disturb, like on your voice message? What do you say? What does it say?
Oh, my Google Voice is always really simple. So depending on what type of ad, but for the most part, it just says, hello, and congratulations for taking the time to inquire about joining our team. Leave us your name, phone number, and email address, and we'll get back with you as quickly as possible.
Perfect. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. All right, guys, go out there and make it happen.